we're going to look at the margins of the leaf. So we have learned about the parts of the leaf, and one of the parts we talked about was the margin, which meant the border or the edge of the leaf. So we're going to talk about some different types of margins. So the first one I want to talk about, you can see it on this leaf here. I can rub my finger here, it doesn't catch my finger at all. It's very, very smooth. All the way around, this margin is very, very smooth. There are no indentations at all. So we call that one entire. It's an entire margin. There are no breaks in it. An entire margin. And it comes from the Latin word integer or tangere, which means to touch. It's untouched. And we're going to call this one entire. And I'm going to put that under this one. The next kind I want to talk about is called lobed. Now, lobed comes from Greek lobos, which means a lobe, and we call it lobed when the margin has some pretty deep indentations. Do you see here? It's got some deep indentations. So we call that lobed, and it's all the way around, lobed. And here's the word lobed, and let's put that one here. The third type of margin we have when we're sorting leaves is called dented. Dented. And I like to think of dented to do with teeth. It's when it has little sort of slight indentations along the margin. And here would be an example of dented. Do you see here, like little bumps here? If you can see there. So it's got little indentations, just small. We call that dented. And it comes from Middle English, the word dent, which means incisions, little cuts, incisions. So I thought we would look at some of the leaves I found while I was out on my scavenger hunt and sort them out. And this would be a nice activity for you to do. Let's have a look at our different leaves and see what we think. So what about this one here? Is it smooth? Is it lobed, where it has deep indentations? Or is it dented, when it's only slightly indented? What do you think? Yeah, I think you're right, lobed. Let's have a look at this one. Can you see that one clearly? You see that? And it almost pokes my fingers. It's got little indentations. You see better that side. So we call this one dented. So we have entire, lobed, dented. I'm going to put this one here with the dented. Let's see what this one is. Can you look closely? Do you see all those little tiny dents? I rub my finger on it and it tickles, I can feel it. So this one is also dented. We'll put that one over here as well. Let's see what this one is. Oh gosh, look. It might appear smooth, but then when I move it into the light, you might see better. If I try to rub my finger that way, it catches. It's got lots of little teeth or little dents on it. It's another dented leaf. I guess I have a lot of dented leaves near my house. Let's have a look at that one. So it has quite deep indentations. Do you remember the special name for that kind? It's either entire, lobed, or dented. I think I'm going to pick lobed for that one. I'll put it here with my lobed leaves. Let's have a look at this little one that I picked up. I thought it was a lovely color. And I can rub my finger. It doesn't catch on anything. It's very smooth. So this one is entire. And I have one more. And again, this one pretty smooth at first, but if I rub my finger on it, it feels like it's catching and it's got little bumps on it. So this one is also dented. I have another dented leaf. This one with the spots on it, which isn't too healthy, looks like it has some big lobes, big indentation. So this one would be lobed. So I guess I had quite a lot of dented, meaning little indentations. I had quite a few lobed margins where the indentations are quite large, and I didn't do so well with entire. I only had a couple of leaves that fit in the entire category. But that's a nice activity for you to do. Go out, search for different kinds of margins, see if you can find more entire ones than I did. But you can press them and stick them on paper. Another nice activity is if you have wax paper at home, you could lay out a couple of big sheets of wax paper on your ironing board. You can put one down, then place your leaves inside. You might want to sprinkle little bits of crayons in there too, because they'll melt and make it very pretty. But you can flatten them in there, put another layer of wax paper on top, and then maybe a pillowcase or a tea towel or something, and with mom or dad, iron and melt the wax paper. Make sure the waxy sides are sticking together. Don't do the wax on the top or the bottom. They must be facing inside with the leaves. And when you do that, the wax will melt and you iron over it, and you can make a very nice poster that you could hang maybe on your window and let the sun shine through. Have fun.